These rocky shores where I call home, where my heart longs to be. Whenever I roam, it's these rocky shores, it's where I long to be. Yes, it's these rocky shores, they're home to me.
Whenever I leave here, it hurts me so, with tears in my eyes. Why'd you go? There ain't no work, and the kids need new clothes. The bills need paying, so off I must go.
These rocky shores where I call home, where my heart longs to be. Whenever I roam, yes, these rocky shores, it's where I long to be. Yes, these rocky shores, they're home to me.
I think to myself, where did it all go? The life I once had on the ocean's gentle road. With tears in my eyes and my head in my hands, away from my family, I hope they understand.
That is these rocky shores where I call home, it's where my heart longs to be. Whenever I roam, yes, these rocky shores where I long to be. Yes, these rocky shores, they're home to me. Yes, these rocky shores, they're home to me.
Good evening and welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include Monument to Fishermen and Seamen of Burgeo was officially unveiled, Canada Day celebrations were held on Saturday, the new museum was officially opened, the Odd Job Squad held a car wash, these stories plus community events, BBS Playbill, Off the Rack, and more coming up after this.
The quantity of fresh food in our supermarkets is astonishing. I'm June Callwood. Our food supply is secure, but in parts of Africa and Asia, people can't meet their basic food needs. USC Canada is helping communities to establish market gardens and to learn the skills they need to provide a healthy future for their families. Our support is crucial. Make a pledge to USC Canada at 1-800-5656-USC.
The monument to Fishermen and Seamen of Burgeo was officially unveiled during a ceremony at the monument site on Sunday, June 28th.
Fishermen, seamen, retired fishermen, retired seamen, sea cadets, members of the clergy, Hubert, ladies and gentlemen. To be mayor of this old town today is really a honor and a pleasure. In fact, I think it is one of the most pleasant tasks that I've been asked to perform since becoming your mayor. I am indeed thankful to be part of this most auspicious occasion. This monument is not a memorial to any particular seaman or fisherman. It is not a memorial to Hubert Strickland. It is a memorial and a tribute to all our fishermen and all our seamen, past and present. That is the reason why when Hubert wrote the town council and asked for permission to have this wonderful monument erected on this piece of property, it was without hesitation that he was given permission, the unanimous permission from council. The history of this old town is about fish, sea, ships, and men. I would be very remiss if I didn't say that not only the men played a great part in our history, but also their women did as well. For it was the women that stayed at home and took care of the family and so on. And it was the women who shared in all of their ventures. The seamen, the fishermen of Burgeo, have not got to take a back seat to anyone the world over. They were renowned sailors. They had no problem getting work. When they left Burgeo, they had no problem obtaining a job.
I will now call upon William Cloger. Mr. Cloger is representing the fishermen and the seamen of Burgeo. Bill?
Good day, everyone. I've been asked to say a few words on behalf of the inshore fishermen of Burgeo. When I look at this monument, my memory takes me back to when I fished with my father in summer holidays from school. After fishing all day, we would go down to Aha, Satso, Bailu, or Afterroom looking for squid for bait. It usually was late in the evening before the squids would jig, and it was during that time many jokes or yarns would be told as well as how the day's fishing went, like, "How you make out today, George?" "Well, boy, strong tide, all back like we said." Or, "Scarce, boy." Many of these fishermen are no longer with us today, except in our memories. Fishermen like Ridge and Walt. Doug and Clarence, Garfield and Ralph, to mention a few. And of course George, my father, who also played a part in the Merchant Marine during the war. Mr. Strickland, Hubert, here with us today, has been very generous to donate such a monument to the town of Burgeo. So on behalf of all the fishermen of Burgeo, and especially to those who have gone on before us, I would like to say thank you for such a generous gift.
I would now like to call upon Mr. Sam Collier. Sam is representing and speaking on behalf of Hubert. Hubert don't want to come to the microphone, but he heard Sam, I think, is representative, so Sam is speaking on behalf of Hubert.
Thanks, Doug. Today marks the culmination in a lifelong wish for Burgeo native and personal friend Hubert S. Strickland. Quiet, friendly man who greets everyone with a smile, a salute, or a handshake, today belongs to Hubert. Born and raised at Burgeo, Hubert gained most of his schooling from his first love, the sea. Throughout his younger years, he had been a deckhand aboard the well-known but ill-fated Burgeo schooner, the Beat Respect. Most of his seagoing career, however, was spent as leading seaman for 27 years aboard the English cable ship, the Lord Kelvin. His favorite photo, taken from this era as a young sailor of 23 in 1943, is now permanently etched in this impressive memorial. Although Hubert lived at Halifax for almost 30 years, his thoughts were never far from the place of his birth. Once he retired from the Merchant Navy, he returned to Burgeo. Today, at 77, he still fishes part-time and also recently ended a 14-season career as park officer at Sandbanks Provincial Park. About 10 years ago, Hubert informed me that he had always hoped someday to give back something to this town in the form of a monument as a tribute to all the fishermen and seamen who had helped shape Burgeo into the town it has become today. At that time, he showed me a treasure that he had cherished for a long time. It was an ashtray, a replica of a fisherman in a dory, given to him by his mother many years ago. He then asked my help, when the time was appropriate, in acquiring a monument depicting this theme. This was to be his legacy, his way of showing love and respect for the place of his birth. This location, aptly chosen because of the original memorial library built here to commemorate our hometown soldiers who paid the supreme sacrifice in both world wars, seemed the ideal site. Many of these same Burgeo men who served our country as soldiers were indeed fishermen and sailors first. Their place of honor is still assured. Today, another memorial has been erected on this same spot. Our town is very proud of this act of love from a native son. This impressive monument is a perpetual reminder of the leading role all the fishermen and sailors have played in our town's seafaring heritage. Through the generosity of Hubert S. Strickland, it will provide a lasting legacy for many generations to come. Thank you.
It is now time for the official unveiling of the monument, so I would ask Hubert with Mayor Ann to come forward and carry out the unveiling.
The new museum, located at the former public library building, officially opened for public viewing on Monday, June 29th.
Well, on behalf of the Museum Committee, I now declare that the Burgeo Centennial Memorial Museum is now officially open.
Work began on Monday to construct a permanent stage at Sandbanks Provincial Park. Work finally got underway on Monday to construct a permanent stage at Sandbanks Provincial Park. At the time the work began, there was less than 4 weeks remaining to this year's Sand and Sea Come Home Year celebrations. The materials needed to construct the stage are being purchased with the money that was raised by the Sand and Sea Festival through last year's Cabot celebrations. The money for labor is being provided through a UI top-up. Workers at the park already have a larger dance floor constructed just in front of the stage to be used by line dancers, square dancers, and anyone else that wants to dance during this year's festival. The weather has cooperated thus far, and hopefully the stage will be ready before this year's festival and Come Home Year celebrations.
Yeah, you just hold the tracing armor.
Stay with us for more of This Week in Review coming up in just a moment.
I'm Bruce Coburn. 10 years ago in Nepal, I saw how illness and death occur when there's no safe drinking water, how crops can fail without irrigation. Today, with assistance from USC Canada, progress is being made. Clean drinking water is now a reality. Irrigation trenches have been dug and sanitation improved. Help the people of Nepal build for tomorrow. Support USC Canada. 1-800-5656-USC.
The Odd Job Squad held a car wash on Tuesday and the TV bingo on Wednesday in an effort to raise funds to help students who were unsuccessful in finding employment this summer raise money to help further their education. Mandy, the Odd Job Squad are holding a car wash today. How many students do you have on the Odd Job Squad this year?
Well, we had 7 originally, but a couple of students have gotten jobs in other things since that, so we're down to 5 now.
Okay, so is that a combination of level 3 students and students who were going to post-secondary school but didn't find jobs this summer?
Well, this year, post-secondary students could have been a part of it, but we only had grade 12s interested in it this year.
Okay, so how many student jobs were awarded here in Burgeo this summer?
Well, there were 38 challenge jobs. Now, one of those employers decided against hiring later, and there were 3 students who got on with SWASP. There were 4 students who were hired by the Conservation Corps, and 2 students were later hired with the elementary schools, so that gave a total of 47 students.
Okay, what about the level 1, 2, and 3 student job placement program? I understand there's still students being hired for that right now?
Yes, there is. I know of 2 or 3 right now, but other than that, I'm not really sure how many students have been hired under that. But the ones I do know of have been grade 12 students.
So how many students did you have seeking student jobs this summer?
There were approximately 60 students this year that came into the office and passed resumes out for various jobs.
And there's, you were saying close to about 50 of those have got jobs this summer?
Yes, close to 50 do have jobs.
Yeah, so that actually is pretty good. That's pretty good percentage, I guess.
Yeah, it is pretty good considering it is a small place and there are not a lot of jobs available. So it is good.
So what type of fundraisers will the Odd Job Squad be doing this summer?
We have the regular fundraisers. We have 2 car washes. Well, this is our first one. And we have a bingo Wednesday night and one in a couple of weeks. And that's about it. There may be a basketball tournament and a hockey tournament, but that'll be decided later by the students.
Okay, so will these students be available as in previous years to help out seniors with any work they want done around their homes and things like that?
Yes, they will. They will be available as in previous years. Any seniors or disabled people that do need work done can call and the students can go and work off their bingo money as they have before.
Okay, well, we'd like to thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much.
Congregation at St. John the Evangelist Church held their annual church fair at the community center on Thursday. The Anglican Church put off another very successful church fair on Thursday. In addition to a table of baked goods and a table of crafts and jigs, there were a number of items on tickets and lots of games for kids of all ages. There was also entertainment provided by the line dancers. Burgeo Square dancers also performed. Later that afternoon, there was a potluck supper and 5 games of Share the Wealth Bingo. Due to inclement weather conditions, Canada Day celebrations scheduled for July 1st were postponed. They went ahead on Saturday, July 4th at Sandbanks Provincial Park.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fellow Canadians, welcome to Canada's 131st birthday. I think the next best thing to being a Newfoundlander is being a Canadian. And the last reading I got, the United Nations still thinks that Canada is the best country to live in, and I think so also. This is not only Canada's 131st birthday, it is also the eve of Newfoundland's 50th anniversary of entering Confederation. I'm not sure of the 131st birthday, but I'm sure of the 50th birthday because I've lived through every one of them. I'd like to thank you all for coming out, and I would like to especially thank Glenn and the Recreation Commission for putting off this annual event. We thought this year that El Nino would bring some good weather and we'd get it off on the 1st of July. But it seems as if Newfoundland is always half an hour early in everything, but in Burgeo we're always a few days late in Canada's birthday. So having said that, I wish you all have a good time, and I officially open Burgeo's Canada Day celebrations. Thank you.
Throughout the day, there were all sorts of various races for various age groups. At 4 o'clock, members of the Burgeo Recreation Commission, along with a slew of volunteers, handed out free burgers and pop. The evening concluded with a fireworks display on the first beach. Stay with us for Off the Rack, community events, and the BBS Playbill. All that after this.
Here in Canada, we've made great strides in advancing women's causes, yet we still have a long way to go, both here and in the rest of the world. USC Canada is taking steps, supporting savings and loans programs for women in developing countries. When you reach out, you find we're really not so far apart. This is June Callwood please lend your support to USC Canada, 56 Sparks Street, Ottawa.
Off the rack. This week as we scanned our tape racks, we came across a video from 10 years ago as the balloons were released declaring Burgio's first Come Home year officially opened. Here's a look back now to July 1988.
Good evening and welcome to the community event segment of tonight's broadcast on Run the Green. The Odd Job Squad TV bingo held on Wednesday was won by Gilbert Melbourne. Congratulations, Gilbert. There is no TV bingo scheduled for this coming Wednesday. The winners of the ticket draws at the Anglican Church Fair were: the quilt was won by Beatrice Ann, Maria Vatcher won the dolly set, the gift basket was won by Kai Mercer, Russell Compton was the winner of the air cut certificate. The lucky ticket number for the Mermaid doll set was 968440. If you had this ticket, please call Linda Pink at 886-2802 or Hannah Dix at 886-2158 to claim your prize. The Odd Job Squad is available for any seniors or local organizations needing painting, cleaning, hearings, or other work done. You supply the materials and the Odd Job Squad will supply the student for free. For more information, call Amanda at 886-3389. If your group or organization has an upcoming event planned, we would be happy to advertise it for you. You can contact the BBS office by Wednesday of each week to have items included in this portion of our broadcast. That concludes the community event segment of tonight's program. See you next week.
BBS Playbill. Tune in on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for If Ye Break Faith. This video comes to us from the War Amps. And I'll be here again next week with This Week in Review. For This Week in Review, I'm Dave Cooper. Good night.